So let's continue talking around this a little bit. If you take a look at what I have just explained here, that with a $25,000 investment, with a zero loss technique which I have just explained, that a stock which is $20 only when it comes to zero, you would have a loss of $3,000. So practically, this $3,000 loss, which you are trying to take it as a chance, is hardly going to happen. I have not seen any stocks getting to zero, and therefore I can confidently say that it's a zero loss technique and strategy. But if any one of you have seen a stock price going to zero, feel free to call me and let me know, because it is important for my research. But to my understanding and my observations for last so many years, I have never seen a stock going to zero. So now that's why I call it as a zero loss technique. The only thing which you might lose is the time. If you happen to be on a stock which you have invested, just missing out a breakout, you may have to wait for probably even 90 days or even more to get the next reversal. So in this technique, you would notice that probably only 15% of your fund which you have invested could go into that situation. But if you take a look at this 30%, the first layer itself, and you take a look at the investment which you have made 25,000, with the consideration that 30% of it is rotating within the same day, you are practically reinvesting that money again and again, up to 39,000 in a month, if you really look at it that way. That means although you had $25,000 investment, but because of this fast rotation and investment settling within 1 day, 0 day to 1 day, you are able to rotate that money up to an extent of 39,000, which gives you a significant amount of profit, even if you go based on an automation, or even if you go based on a target price strategy with good to cancel type of a scenario. So the rest of it, which is 7 to 30 days, I would say around 55% of these stocks would come under this category, where within 30 days time frame you might be making around 1.25% or 2 within that average of 2.25% during the end of the month for every stock. So cumulative effect of it is outstanding. If you take a look at ROIs from an annual perspective, and if you are going based on the target price technique, you are making around 45% at the end of the year. So effectively, your money which you are investing 25,000 could be doubled just within just about 2 year plus time frame. So this is the whole idea of this investment. No matter how small, even if you are starting with say $10,000 to invest, you would probably need, and you have a spread of 4 days, you are talking about one recommendation per day. You'd probably do 18 recommendations a month, and out of that, very likely you would be seeing that within 1 day 5 stocks get settled. 9 of them, which is probably around 55% of it, which gets settled within 7 to 30 days, and there could be potential 3 stocks which could be on a float. So this is what causes the float. You must have seen, and I will show more and more as to where these floats are happening, and what is that you lose in floats. As I have just explained, you're not going to lose money for sure, but what you might lose is the time frame. So adopting this technique, many of my members have found it very interesting, but this is only going to be successful if I can get you many recommendations as possible with that consistency of the breakout which I have shown it to you some time back.